Speechcrafter Srujana. The evaluator for her will be Toastmaster Zahid. Is he in the room?
Yes.
Over to you.
Raise your hands if at least once in your life you've compared yourself to others or wish you could be someone else, be it a social media star or a friend or even a celebrity. Almost all of us did it, right? Good morning, everyone. We have all experienced the recurring effect of comparison at some point or the other in our lives. Be it comparing our marks in school with our friends, or comparing our dance moves in parties with our cousins, or even in our work lives. We always do compare ourselves. But why do we do it? It could be because as humans we are inherently competitive, or we try to gauge our own success based on external factors, or we try to seek external validation from others. Whatever the reason is, comparison is a natural human tendency. But if it becomes a habit, it is detrimental to our mental health. As some of you know, I'm pursuing chartered accountancy and I have been at home for the past year preparing for exams. Staying at home all day can be frustrating and stressful. A few months back, I was having a very bad day, so I went out on a walk and met my neighbor's cute pet dog. As I watched the dog run around and play cheerfully, I couldn't help but feel envious of it. Because it doesn't have to study for 10 hours a day, it doesn't have to stress about anything, it just goes on about its life without any care in the world and is still the most pampered in the entire house. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it was a wake-up call for me that my tendency of comparing myself had taken a turn for the worse. We all have heard the saying, grass is always greener on the other side. It comes from the idea that when we look at grass from a distance, it looks greener than it does when we look at it up close. Similarly, when we look at people's lives from a distance, we focus only on the positive aspects of their lives and overlook all the problems, issues, and burdens they've had to overcome. This creates a sense of dissatisfaction in our own lives and a desire to have what others seem to have. In fact, research shows that all of us spend a lot of time looking at other people's profiles on social media than we do looking at our own reflection in the mirror. Growing up, I've always compared myself to my peers, and whether it was sports or academics or even social lives, I always felt I was falling short. This continued into my adult years, where social media made it even easier for me to compare myself to others. But eventually, I realized that it is a never-ending cycle. No matter how much you achieve, there would always be someone else who will achieve more. So I decided I had to take action and break this habit. One of the things that helped me was focusing on my own goals and progress. I know it sounds like a cliched advice for all the life problems, but focusing on my own goals and tracking them consciously helped me keep motivated, but also created a sense of competition with myself. It involved changing the perspective from grass is greener on the other side to grass is greener wherever you water it. The second thing was practicing gratitude in life. Instead of focusing on things that I wish I had, I started focusing on things that I did have. It helped me build a better and more positive perspective in life. And the third thing was social media exposure. Social media can be a great platform to connect with people, but it is a breeding ground for comparison. Though we know that social media isn't real life, it does take a toll on a subconscious mind. So we need to consciously control the social media usage, or at least the content that we consume on social media. These three things have helped me a lot in my path of breaking this habit, and I hope they help you too. During tough times, I always remind myself of a beautiful quote which says, "There is no comparison between sun and the moon. They shine on their time." Thank you.